Unturned. Today we are going to be exploring St. Petersburg's, and get your hunting dogs ready because we are going to be exploring for cloth only. Basically, we'll pick up a couple of other items. It's not like it's that would be kind of itemist if you ask me, if we were just to only pick up cloth and clothing items. But we really need those because I just realized I used my only med kit when we did the oil rig thing, and if you haven't seen that, I definitely want you to go check it out. It's probably the most exciting episode in all this series because I'm a pretty boring person. But regardless from that, we are going to be searching for cloth basically because we need it because we don't have any medical supplies. I don't know why I salvaged that. I thought it was going to give me cloth, but we don't have any medical supplies and we need to make some. Otherwise, we will probably going to die while we do the horde beacon. I know I'm probably over-preparing a little bit, and we've already got like stuff that'll make it so we don't get hit probably a single time, but I just want to make sure. I was totally caught off guard by when we first tried to do the horde beacon and we totally lost to it. I was totally caught off guard by that. And I had to really much wing it. Very, very ancient human thing is called winging it. Now, I've got something pretty cool to tell you guys. Yesterday, it was just a spontaneous combustion of myself learning how to do Photoshop. After I got done with the recording of the episode, I found it to be a falsehood that I said I wasn't very good at doing the Photoshop thing, because I just learned how to do tons of different things with a little bit of help of like asking Google. I mean, of course, Google's like most helpful thing ever. What would we do without Google? Of course, everything's connected through the internet. It makes you wonder why we didn't survive, how we didn't survive without it. But it made, with a couple of questions from Google and answers from Google, I went ahead and started doing tons of things with Photoshop. You may have noticed that my thumbnail got updated. You may have noticed tons of different things. Is this a... Oh, we already... Wait, is the travel pack any better? I think it's the same, just sideways. And it goes with our style a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and shred the that other one. And plus, we've been using it for a while, so... Yeah, let's go ahead. Hopefully we can find something like useful, like an Alice pack or something around here. But as you guys know, like, hold on, let me scratch my head. Sorry about that. As you guys probably know, if you take an entire inventory with an Alice pack and full thief gear and turn it all into cloth, you're probably going to get about 3-4 dressings out of it. Probably. Something like that. I don't know. I really didn't do the math at all, or it was just kind of a guess. But you guys will understand if you've ever played Unturned before and you need to make like healing items. It's a pain. It's an absolute like pain. It's one hell of a job. It's very, very tedious. You have to find you have to go through all of the big cities to find tons and tons of cloths. Like, I'm getting pretty good luck right now if you ask me. We're not wearing that. Yellow is an ugly color. I've gotten pretty good luck right now just because mostly we've been getting tons of different things. Stop making me put on ponchos. I don't want to. You're just basically raping me when you make me do stuff like that. I don't want to put on a blue sweater vest. No sweater vests for me. They don't look good on me. They're definitely not babe magnets, but yeah, again, nothing good looks good on me. I'm ugly by heart, and that's how it's always going to be. But anyway, why is there a crater here? Is there like a meteor here that killed tons of people? Wow, it's like a really good hiding spot. This map would be so cool for PvP. This map would be absolutely awesome for PvP. Like, there's probably so many like servers for PvP on this. But at the same time, I get to learn how to like on the map and have fun while doing it, because I get to make entertaining videos for you guys, and I'm having fun at the same time, which is like that's why I haven't been quitting. Like, I haven't gone through another stage where I quit my channel for 6 months, is because I know that I'm having a lot of fun doing this and having a whoa. That was a huge truck that just went outside. I don't know what the heck that was. That was huge. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but moving on. So, it really makes me happy. Is the other times I just started quitting my channel for long times is because I just getting bored with the things that I was playing. I didn't sound enthusiastic at all. I was definitely not. I was going through a little bit of a time of like upsetting depression. Not depression. I'm not a depressing person. Like, I just didn't like the games we were playing, and I was just getting so bored with them, and that's why I just decided to, started falling behind in my channel, and then at one point, I just decided, damn it, I don't even care anymore. It's just might as well stop. But I picked it back up. I'm gonna try. This is the I've had a couple of the triangles that I've just shut down in the same sort of scenario type way. But this one is different. This one's going to be different. A different day for us, and we're gonna go ahead and munch on these purification tablets just so we can go ahead and level up that good old radioactive skill thing, the radioactive bar. We didn't check out the pharmacy, but there's always good stuff in the pharmacy, right? I mean, that's where all the drugs are. Gotta love it. Got to love it. I don't know what adrenaline does. I'm pretty sure it just kills you basically a little bit. Let's go ahead and make a good old dressing out of that. So we got our first bandage down. We're gonna call him Bandagey. That's very, very. I put tons of thought into that name. You guys should respect it. And yeah, all of that good jazz. Okay, looks like we got a lunchroom here. What do we have in these little cabinets? Whoa. Talk about a fully stocked fridge. Man, these poor guys must have just gone shopping before the apocalypse happened. I feel a little bad for that. That's those poor guys. They spent like all their money and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a feast tonight, and then there's a zombie apocalypse and they all die. That must be that awkward. That must be an awkward moment. That awkward moment when, whoa, what's this? What is this we have here? Can I go down there without dying? I don't know. I don't want to take the chance. I don't want to take the chance. I probably pissed a bunch of people off right now by saying that I don't want to go down there. I'm too much of a wimp to do it. Which is basically, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm not even going to make an excuse about it. I'm just a wimp. So, yeah. That's basically it. So, yeah, I'm a bit sorry about that. I just don't want to take the chance of, like, falling and dying and losing everything. That would be a bit of a plot hole for us, wouldn't it? So yeah, I really don't want to jump down there and find out. There was a little like ladder on it. I don't know. We'll check it out. We'll check it out later on in the series. I guess we'll go ahead and do something like that. We were already here. Come on. One of the problems I have with like such huge cities like this is just this enormous amount of things to explore, so you kind of lose yourself. Jeez. Okay, there is a black parka. We can go ahead and salvage that up. And there's a laptop on the bed. Can we go ahead and hack into that? No, what's with all the sweater vests? I don't want to take sweater vests. I don't like these. They don't look good on me. Oh god. It makes me look whiter than I am already. Jeez, dude. It's not like something I want to be. I look horrible in shorts, dude. You'd go blind if you saw me in shorts. I'm a hermit. I'm not a hermit. No, that's not the correct term. What are we looking? What's the word we're looking for here? Looking for the word outcast. Yeah, that's a little bit better fitting. It's still not describing me entirely, but yeah, it's better than hermit. See, I'm not socially awkward, really. No, I am socially awkward, actually. I'm trying to make it not sound like I'm not super like noob when it comes to oh man, you could just tell how I am because I use the word noob to describe how I am in social situations. So yeah, I'm not a huge expert at behaving. I'm not a huge MLG pro at behaving like properly in social situations. I'm not very good at doing it. Okay, I've never had a single girlfriend in my life, and as far as I'm concerned, I really don't care too much. I'm not a super lonely guy. I guess I don't feel that kind of stuff. I really don't know. I've never been told I'm a sociopath, but sometimes I make myself believe it. That's for sure. I give like zero craps about anyone's business whatsoever. You could tell me that you just watched an animal die, and now you have clinical depression. You haven't taken your meds for a bunch of time, and your dog died, and everything's going like to crap in your family very, very quickly. And I would probably just like shrug it off and be like, I don't know what to do, dude. I honestly, I wouldn't just flat out tell him I don't care, but I don't feel like bad. It's kind of strange. I hope I'm not a sociopath. It's not a good thing. But sometimes I feel like it. Sometimes I feel like I am. I probably am. But I've never been diagnosed with it, and I've been to the doctor more than enough times. Like I've never been to a psychologist. That could be the reason why. But I've been to the doctor more than enough times for them to tell me that my head is all right. So, yep. That's about it. But enough about my life. What about the game? Maybe I should update you guys on the game a little bit. So yeah, we just walked into this cool little house here. We're checking out for all the clothes and stuff so we can scrap it to make this cool stuff called bandages. It gets you high. It's really cool. Makes your life better. It's the only thing that the FDA hasn't made illegal yet, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Oh my God, everything is FDA approved, isn't it? Ooh. Let's just go ahead and keep it. We look American in this, and by American I mean kind of chubby in this little outfit, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. We're just big boned. We're just big boned. All right, where are we at? Where are we at? Come on now. Give us something. Give us like an abundance of clothing. The one thing that you don't have an issue with when you're doing this is finding cloth to salvage. It's just the boring task of only looking for cloth, because it's kind of tedious, and it's just kind of lame to watch someone do. And I'm doing my best to keep an entertaining commentary. I'm in one of the best commentary type moods I've been in a while, but I'm doing my best to keep up with you guys. Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't want no rakes in here. We've had enough creepypasta for one day. And the point is, I don't like creepypasta. No, it's not because I'm a wimp. It is somewhat because I'm a wimp. If there's anything I can't lie about, it's that. But I'm not like I'm not like, don't get frightened all the time. The reason I don't do horror games very much is just because I used to do horror games a lot, actually. I used to play tons of them. I've got tons of horror games that I used to play. I can think of like tons of them right off the bat. Let me think of some real quick. Okay, so first of all, I don't know if this is really classified as a horror game, but I was one of the first people to ever like play Hello Neighbor before it got huge on the internet. I played that like really quickly, and I found it was pretty cool. I've never really beat it just because I couldn't figure out what to do after a while. I was just confused. I was like, what do I do? Where do I go? And yeah, that's about it. It's a coincidence that it's also basically how I am in life every single day. What am I gonna do? But yeah, I know it sounds like I'm lying and I'm just pulling stuff out of my anus to keep the idea that I do play a lot of horror games afloat. But I have played a lot of them. I just can't think of too many of them. Mostly my brain like wants to forget about it. So I used to play like tons of them, and then Five Nights at Freddy's came around, and you all should understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so here let me tell you why Five Nights at Freddy's ruined horror games for me. There was no sense of creepiness. Oh, Resident Evil 7, that's one of the ones I also played. I haven't played it yet, but I've watched like a bunch of YouTubers play it because I find it pretty cool. I'm not going to really play it just because it's a single storyline game. And, you know, once you've watched someone play it, you really don't want to play it anymore. Anyways. So let's talk about why FNAF ruined it for me. FNAF didn't have a creepiness factor to it. It was dark, and you were in a little kid's dreamland if it wasn't haunted, basically. And I know that was sort of like a creepiness factor to it, but it just didn't make it like correct. It just made everything kind of look like cheesy and overdone, I guess. Like the monsters, they had like they kind of evolved. Like the first Five Nights at Freddy's was decent, wasn't really scary, but like all the way up to the fourth Five Nights at Freddy's though, like come on, they just like they're doing like everything they can to make it like the characters scarier, but nothing ever changes in it. Basically, they don't have any idea how to make a player frightened. All they ever do is throw in jump scares to put you. I mean, it's not even like a sudden jump scare. It's like basically I think the fourth one, basically the monster just moves up to you like very quickly, and that's what it is. I need to stop. I need to concentrate more on the game because I think I've explored like the same 3 buildings about 4 times. Let's move over to these houses over here. So yeah, that's basically why I don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. I never liked it, and whenever I watch YouTubers play it, I like whenever there's a series on YouTube about it. I mean, usually like a lot of people are starting to turn onto my side too and saying that like it's cancer and stuff like that. Mostly I think it's cool that people are starting to come to my side and stuff like that. I was one of the only people that didn't like Five Nights at Freddy's when it first came out, just because it had absolutely no factor. And I'm a person that doesn't criticize things well. So if I don't like something, you know you've done something wrong. Because I mean, I'm not saying I was right. In fact, I suck at judging things. I have to be told why something is bad to think it's bad, and it's not very. I'm not very good at judging things at all. For example, I thought if you guys have played Call of Duty Ghosts, I thought the campaign was absolutely great. The one thing I didn't like about it is the extinction. They got rid of zombies, and yeah, I know they had to, blah blah blah. I've heard the same argument thousands of times. Oh, they had to because it was Treyarch's thing, and Treyarch wasn't in on the project. Blah 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 blah. I don't care. I don't care. I don't like that they didn't have it. That's really pretty much it. Should we wear that civilian vest or the black poncho? We'll just keep the black poncho, just because it kind of suits the rest of our outfit a little bit better. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep that. Oh man, I think we've explored almost everything now. Let me check the map real quick. Just make sure there's no zombies chasing after me. Let's check the map real quick. Zoom in a bunch. Where are we? We are right there. We've already checked pretty much all of this. We've checked these buildings, I'm pretty sure, over here. We'll go ahead and check around here and stuff like that once more. We've done all of these buildings over here. I know for a fact we've done that much. Let's go ahead and check in the bank real quick just for any other goodies. There's tons of military ammo, but sadly nowhere to put it. Except for the the peacekeeper thing, or not the peacekeeper. Oh my gosh, I've been playing too much Call of Duty. Somebody help me! Not the what is it? What's it called in real life? Like the PPSH. It's also, I'm also saying that because Call of Duty. It's called the calling card. The calling card. I still didn't get the correct verbiage in there. I apologize. I just play a lot of Call of Duty, and it's like one of the first games on actual Xbox I ever played. I don't know if I've ever told this story again, like to you guys ever, but just to keep the time going by, because I know this is getting a little bit boring. I'm starting to get a little bit bored myself, so I'm gonna keep you guys entertained with a story. All right, so this is the entire basis on the storyline. I was born in 2002. But I was raised as if I were born in like 1990 or something like that. Okay, so here, I know it sounds ridiculous. I know I sound like every single other 14, 12 to 12-year-old out there. Oh yeah, dude, the SNES was the best console ever. It's totally awesome, like Call of Duty. It's not like that. Just hear me out, all right? Don't click off the video. Don't click off the video. No, wait. Okay. Thank you. Just give me a little bit of your time. Okay, so this is how it works. When I was born, of course, like I was just let's just fast forward here from where I was born, because I mean obviously there's not much to add to the story here, but let's fast forward to maybe when I was 3, or when I was just starting to understand the world and I was able to talk and stuff like that. All right, so basically, when I was we'll start with 5. When I was 5 and up, I started understanding stuff. I started doing things better, and then I started getting into like a little bit of gaming. I don't know when the first how I started getting into gaming, but I do know what kept my love on fire for gaming, and that is the original SNES and the NES. We have this cool little console. Actually, I can see it right now in this little open cabinet we have. I can see it. It's called an FC Twin, and no, it's not some sort of modern console. It was way back. I think it was like a couple of years after, or maybe like 1 year after the NES was released, because obviously the NES came before that, and people didn't want to buy both consoles. So these Chinese creators, back when like Chinese creators actually didn't cheap out on things, it wasn't even Chinese creators. I don't know, like some sort of creators wanted to make it so people could have both consoles in one. So that's basically the idea that they were shooting for, and they made something called the FC Twin, which was both cartridge slots into one one console. So you could play 8-bit games, you could play 16-bit games. It was like dreamland. It was awesome. We had like all sorts of different games for the NES or the SNES, but also a ton of them for the normal NES. Where are we at now? We're going to checking these ones out right here. So basically that's what started, and some of my best memories of gaming of all time I was playing myself playing with the original Super Mario Bros, the actual platformer, not the one with the jumping over the monkey barrels and torturing animals and stuff like that. Not that one. The one that was the old style platformer, you know, the princess is in another castle, bullshit, stuff like that. Just basically all that kind of stuff. And that was like my fondest memories of playing that is just playing Super Mario World and that original one. Oh, we got a day pack. Why'd we lose so much? Wait, hold on. Day packs are better. Wait, day packs have more space though. Don't they? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 35. Then we got 4 here, 2, 4, 6, 7. Wow, I can't believe it. I thought this was like the next best thing compared to the Alice pack that was in Vanilla Unturned. That was my phone. I'll have to answer that later. That's probably just one of my friends or something like that. But anyways, getting back to it. Some of my fondest memories were playing Super Mario World and Super Mario, like the original NES, like the first platformer one that they made. It was awesome. It was so much fun, just like the flying around. I think the first Mario I ever actually played, I got the NES version later on, but the first Mario I ever played was Super Mario World. Oh man, I must have beaten that game like 50 times, and even now I still play it every once in a while. I don't play it as often as I used to, obviously, because I have like a lot more responsibilities and things. But we were talking back in the days where I didn't have responsibilities and stuff like that. We didn't even get like a console, like an Xbox. We got an Xbox eventually, but I didn't even get one of those until I was like 12 years old. And until then, we just played on that. We didn't have a single other game console, but we did have a DS Lite, and that was like one of the other consoles that we had. We had a PlayStation 1 also, and I also loved playing Spyro on that. Man, I can't remember the name of the name of the game. I know it was Spyro, but it was just on PlayStation 1. It was like beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I never had any memories playing the N64, mostly because we didn't have the money to get one right at that, like around that time. And I wasn't really a really selfish kid, so I just kind of stuck with what I have and let my parents pick up on the things that I wanted. And it was just kind of like a puzzle, basically. But the NES and the SNES sparked it all. Eventually we got a PS1. Wait, no, I think we had the PS1. I just didn't play it as much as the NES and stuff like that. But man, this is a long story. I'm sorry about that, but it's keeping hopefully you guys entertained. And if it's not, you can just go ahead and click off the video. I guess I don't really have too much else to offer, so I'm sorry about that. But the PlayStation 1, I also liked playing the Spyro games and stuff like that. The Spyro games were really all we had the PlayStation 1 for. There were a couple other games that we had, but they weren't really all that much fun. There was like Deal or No Deal and stuff like that. We had just kind of the original like game, like you know back when the game show games, normal games, like video game. This is like the NES was created back when games they didn't really have a set way to make games, so they were often modeled after the games that we had just had, but in virtual type like situations. So like it would just be like baseball or solitaire or stuff like that. You guys remember like Snake Solitaire? Or Spider Solitaire in Windows XP. Yep, me too. Oh god, bad memories. Like the original pinball was something I played too. But I didn't get a single Xbox. I got my Xbox 360 when I was 12 years old, and that was 2 years ago, guys. It's not that long ago. That was not that long ago. And until then, we did with what we had. My dad and I, we used to play constantly. The NES, and we just like every waking moments I'd ask him to, and of course he'd have to say no sometimes. But I've beaten like every single game we had that like we actually played for the NES and SNES. We got like Yoshi's Cookie and stuff like that. And I think I was going to go ahead and tell you guys about also the Yoshi's Island thing. Oh man, Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island was the best. Like the DS Lite, Okay, so basically the DS Lite was the first DS, and back when like Nintendo decided to make something really, really smart with their DS. Now it's just kind of modeled after the other one with better hardware. But back when they had the DS Lite, they had a card reader slot, and like the like the little DS card thing. Like they had those card reader slots, and they also had the good old fashioned Game Boy cartridge slots. And you could play either one of them. They would both show up on the screen on the menu when you decided to like launch it. And I didn't play a whole lot of Game Boy games. I always wanted to have a Game Boy, and I still want one. It's still like a little finicky type thing that I've always kind of wanted. But I had like this one monster truck game. That's all I've played. But DS, Yoshi's Island, and New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. It's not exactly new anymore, but you guys get the point. I used to play that all the time. All the time. I don't think I ever actually beat the game, but mostly because it was hard and there was like a lot of puzzles, and I was younger at the time, so I didn't play that. What's this? What's this all about? Like wreckage and stuff like that? I don't know if I want to go down there. Looks like looks like it has something to do with like the storyline. Not that I would know or anything. I mean, I haven't checked out the storyline or anything like that, so obviously I don't know for sure. But oh, dude, that's just basically my entire gaming story. It was a long one, and I repeated myself like tons of times, and fortunately I don't have a ton of time to edit it down or anything like that. So well, I'm really sorry about that, but thank you for sticking with me if you have. And I think that just about wraps up the episode, actually. We collected tons of cloth. We're going to go ahead and transfer it all into the dressings. And look at that. Look at the entire video. We've been collecting dressings, and we only got like this much. That's not very much at all. And if you guys want to know how I'm doing like the right click and then doing crafting all of them at the same time via the menu, you just hold control and then you click on the craft button or the thing that you want to do button. And that's about it. So yeah, it's kind of simple. It's kind of simple. There's like a lot of sorts of different functionality tricks, and man, my voice is starting to get out if you guys, or give out if you guys hear me, because it's just kind of, I've been talking for so long, and usually I'm not this active when I talk in videos. I'm usually kind of like quiet, like more quiet, and mostly because I'm I'm kind of shy, I guess. It's not that I have bad experiences with talking to people, but it's weird because I can totally socialize and do things like I'm not saying I'm really, really super funny or anything. I'm like nowhere near popular YouTuber funny, but I do try, and I'm kind of funny actually. I have somewhat of good sense of humor when I'm like around my friends and stuff. Whenever I get on the camera, it just seems like everything fades away, and my brain like is on minimal capacity for the rest of the video. And then I get off, and everything's back to normal. It's like, why couldn't you do that before? Like, why does it have to be this way? I thought we were friends, brain. But either way, I will continue to make videos, and I will continue to try getting better at them. Although I don't know if I ever will. But that just about wraps it up for this video. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!